Yeah, all that sounds good on paper, right? But when you get all that time back, if you already weren't executing right now, you aren't gonna execute then. And now, instead of you only having 3 hours to smoke weed and play video games and watch TV and go to happy hours, you'll have 16 hours to do it. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brian Scott, aka the 9 to 5 actor, and here today on my channel I am going to talk to you all about when is the right time to quit your job, okay? Because a lot of us, including myself, when you're working at 9 to 5, you're trying to be a creative, it is quite difficult, right? And so every single day or every single month or every single year, you're probably thinking to yourself, yo, I feel like it's my time. But there is a formula that should be followed before you quit your job. And if you are not following this formula to a T, then you need to wait a little bit longer. So here today, I'm going to share that formula. Definitely stick around to the end to get all the tips and tricks so that way you can be best prepared once you quit your job to be successful in the long run. So if this is the type of content you like, make sure you hit that like button. Comment your thoughts below. Are you planning to quit your 9 to 5 job? Like, I'm already intrigued. Before you even watch the video, hit that subscribe button and let's get right into it. So before you quit your 9 to 5 job, the first question you need to answer for yourself is, do you have a plan for your future and do you know exactly what that career is, right? Because a lot of times we all are just tired of that 9 to 5 grind, right? With only 2 days off on the weekend. And then you find yourself being like, yo, I just want this to be behind me and I just want to lean 100% into my creative soul, right? And that sounds so good on paper, but just leaning into your creative soul without an actual plan is gonna have you without any financial backing and either have you homeless or living back at home with your parents, you know, even if you're able to do that. So someone like me isn't able to, and so I need to have a plan. And I know a lot of us are in the same situation as me, where you take care of yourself and you look out for yourself, but you still aspire to be more and do more with your life, but you don't have that backing. And so you gotta, just not that you can't take risks, but you do need to take calculated risks, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, okay? So do you have a plan? Do you know exactly what you want to do and what exactly you want to be, right? For me, I know it is to be a working actor, right? And there's a bunch of different subcategories in there I need to check off before I can make that happen. But I'm solid with my decision. I know that's what I want to do. I know that's what I want to make happen for myself. But the good thing about knowing what you want to do is knowing that you also can make a plan for it. I know acting is a long-term goal, right? It is not something where you just become an A-list actor within a week. I mean, especially if you have no connections, you're literally starting from scratch, right? So in my case, I don't need to rush to quit my 9 to 5 because I still need to go through the beginning grind of getting booked some months, not getting booked, still submitting for more and more auditions, which you'll always be doing this forever. But it's the point of, I understand that it's a long-term grind and that a lot of these things don't flip within a year. And so I'm okay with how that goes. So like for you, what you want to do, just figure that out, okay? And make a solid decision that that's exactly what you want to do. If you are shaky at all, you need to stay with that 9 to 5 for now. So the second question that you need to ask yourself before you quit your 9 to 5 job is, what do your finances look like, okay? And the reason why that is because, of course, when you're thinking about quitting your 9 to 5 job, it is all sunshine and rainbows, right? But what no one ever calculates in are the obstacles that you're gonna run into on trying to make your dream life happen, all right? And if you don't have any financial backing, it is not gonna work out for you, because eventually at some point you're gonna become so desperate in your journey to make your dream life happen that you might start doing things that test your character. And if you start doing things that go below your values to get by, then you don't trust yourself anymore. You kind of see how that downward spiral goes, right? So what I would say is you at least want a year worth of money saved up. Now, I'm speaking to the people who, if you quit your job tomorrow and you didn't have money for rent that month, you homeless. Okay, because if you can quit your job and go back and live home with your mom and dad, then that doesn't count, right? And I mean that respectfully, but it's just you have a safety net, and so your mindset is just so different when it comes to being able to take risks. If you're in a situation like mine, where if I lost my job, I'm homeless, so I need to take more calculated risks, then our mindset's just totally different towards everything. Because something that isn't talked about enough, and shout out to me for having these people genuine people within my life that tell me the truth, because you all know social media is a place where everyone wants to make themselves seem better than what they're doing. And the reason why I say that is because I know right now, even since I moved to LA, like 3 people that done quit their jobs. They went on social media, they shouted out how amazing it was to quit their job and just how much freedom they have right now and all these other things. But behind closed doors, they ended up needing to move back with their parents. They ended up needing to do things to get by and make money and all that. But they don't talk about that and they don't share that with anybody, right? And I just think it's so fake to be able to keep telling other people, you should definitely quit your 9 to 5 as well. You'll be just as happy as I was, and you aren't happy. And you're lying to people, and you aren't talking about how tough it is and the grind of trying to make things happen for yourself every day. And so I'm telling you all, from a person who gets that insider information, that it ain't all sunshine and rainbows for everybody. I mean, you could right now go on YouTube and look at people's stories that became successful when they became entrepreneurs, and they talk about those ebbs and flows, how some months they did make money and some months they just did not, right? But they kept going and they was consistent, they made it happen. But they also had a little bit of a foundation when they had their 9 to 5 before they made that happen. And so I just want you all to make sure you at least have some type of financial backing saved up before you leave, because you are going to go through ebbs and flows. You are going to run into obstacles, and everything is not going to be sunshine and rainbows, okay? And I know watching other people, you might think it's like that, but a lot of their truths is not actually their truth, all right? The third question you need to answer before you quit your 9 to 5 job is, are you executing in your free time right now? All right, what do I mean by that? So if anybody works a 9 to 5, you already know, and I'm gonna put you on my schedule. So you're waking up 5 a.m., you're hitting the gym, you're getting out of the gym about 8, you get home, you shower, you get ready for the day, you work your 9 to 5, and then you honestly probably got about 3 hours left every Monday through Friday to be able to execute along with the weekends, okay? So what does that look like right now for you? Are you finishing work and then always going to a happy hour? Are you finishing work and then smoking weed and playing video games? Are you get my point? If right now you are not executing at a high level, you are not ready to quit your 9 to 5 job, and that's okay. Because what you have to realize is once you quit your job, it's easy to say, oh, when I quit my job, but now Brian, I'm gonna have all those hours back and then I'll be able to execute at a high level at that point. Yeah, all that sounds good on paper, right? But when you get all that time back, if you already weren't executing right now, you aren't gonna execute then. And now, instead of you only having 3 hours to smoke weed and play video games and watch TV and go to happy hours, you'll have 16 hours to do it, and you will definitely do that, right? And I don't want anyone to find themselves in a situation where you're quitting your job because you're just tired. You just don't feel like it every day, because that is what we're gonna get to now, is the feelings. You're not gonna feel like always putting in all this work every single day, but you're gonna still need to do it. And so if you can't do it in 3 hours when you're a little tired after work, I guarantee you ain't gonna do it in 16 hours every single day when you gotta make it happen on your own. You are the one that have to put that structure in. You are the one who has to hold yourself accountable, because nobody else is around to do so, right? And so if you aren't executing at a high level right now, then do not quit your 9 to 5 job, all right? If you right now see your weekends as being free, do not quit your 9 to 5 job, because your weekends, you still need to be putting in work. Because remember, if you're not working, you're not getting paid, right? And it's the same thing with your job, right? You got your 9 to 5, you know you're gonna get a paycheck, but if you don't have that paycheck anymore, that means now you are literally trying to be creative for yourself. You're literally now taking rejections when you're pitching your product and trying to tell people you can provide them value to their life, and they're like, no, I'm good. So what are you gonna do when those rejections keep happening during the week? Are you gonna now spend your weekends at happy hour? You can't. You gotta grind it out, right? And so if you aren't allocating your hours correctly, you are not ready to quit your 9 to 5 job. So that is my 3-step questionnaire that you need to ask for yourself before you decide to quit your 9 to 5 job. Do you have a plan in place for your future career? Okay, do you know exactly what you want to be and you've made a decision? What do your finances look like? Are you ready to be able to quit, and would you be okay for at least a year? And then lastly, what do your hours look like outside of your 9 to 5? Are you still executing at a high level? Okay, and once you get the answers to those questions, then you'll know how to proceed forward with your life on if you're ready to quit and then chase after being a creative full time. Now, for myself, I personally am not ready to be able to quit my 9 to 5. The stage I am currently at is the execution outside of the hours. Am I executing at a high level when I'm not at work, right? And structuring the entrepreneurship as a business. Right now, I feel like a lot of things when I was doing it, I was taking it as a hobby or taking it as a side hustle, as people would call it. But you need to look at building up this creative genius, whatever you're looking to become, as an actual business. And if it is not structured in that way, and you are not giving it the hours it needs to be able to build, and you don't have a brand for yourself or anything, then I just don't feel like you are ready. Then I don't feel like for myself that I'm ready to be able to quit. And so right now I am building my brand. I'm building up a business model for myself to be able to be like, okay, this is what it looks like. And when I am executing at a high level in all of those areas, then I would pivot away from being able to work that 9-to-5 job. Now, I will say there are times when I'm losing my creative energy, and at the end of the day, because I got to put so much brain power into my tech job. But there's going to be days where I have to use my brain power to build up something else, and I still need to be creative at the end of the day. And so I'm working that mental muscle to be able to build that up to a place to where I'm like, okay, you got it, bro. You are able to execute at a high level all day. You are able to push through those moments of I don't feel like it, right? Because I still have times myself where I don't feel like doing something. And while I'd say 70% of the time I'm able to push through, there's still 30% where I'm like, man, forget that. I'm chilling today, right? And so I just need to pick up my energy a little bit in that area. And then I would start feeling better about making that decision. But for now, like, I'm not there. And that's a good thing. I want you all to be able to assess for yourself. When you ask yourself those 3 questions, if you're like, yo, I'm definitely not there, that's okay. Now you know what you need to work on to put yourself in a position to be able to quit that job, all right? And so with that being said, man, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Comment your thoughts below. Do you plan on quitting your 9-to-5 job, right? Or what are you looking like on the questions? Are your finances in order? Do you have a designated plan for yourself? Are you executing outside of your 9-to-5? I'm intrigued to hear. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see everybody at the top.